Salutations! I haven't made a video dedicated to the Master Chief Collection in a long time, and I think now's the perfect time to do so. The newest MCC update that dropped recently introduced a ton of new content and positive changes to the game, and as a result, MCC has never been better than it is now. To briefly recap on what has come out, Firefight for both ODST and Reach received substantial upgrades. It got a boosted player count, now up to 8 players instead of 4, it received custom games browser support, and join in progress support as well. Join in progress in particular is huge, since before, if a player left a firefight match, they could never rejoin, and other players couldn't take their place. Reach Firefight also gives you the ability to turn enemy waves off, which means you can now emulate Network Test 1 from the Halo Reach beta. If you don't know what Network Test 1 is, it was a playlist in 2010's Halo Reach multiplayer beta that featured the Generator Defense game mode on Overlook, pitting 3 Spartan players versus 3 Elite players. The Spartans defended the Generators while the Elites pushed their way through the enemy defenses to take the Generators out. While Generator Defense would go on to release with Halo Reach, the 2 biggest differences between it and its beta rendition were a shortened player count from 6 to 4, and the inclusion of Covenant AI waves, which couldn't be turned off. Today, making a version of Generator Defense to play like the Reach betas is now possible, and can be further expanded upon with the many features MCC brings to the table. 8 players is now possible with this mode, and it can be played on more maps than just Overlook. The new MCC update also brought quite a few other new features. Halo 4 has Theater mode for campaign, Hunter boarding in Halo 2 could be enabled with a bandana skull, the Acrophobia skull was added to CE, and Escalation Slayer, Halo's rendition of Gun Game, was added to Halo 3. I wanted to mention these additions to MCC first because these are accessible to everyone, whether they're on console or PC. This is relevant because the other, more significant half of the content that came out with this update simply isn't accessible to everyone, and that's mods. For those who've been around my channel, you know how much modded content means to me, and is a huge reason why I remain a Halo fan to this day. I started playing Halo 1 as a wee 10-year-old lad in 2003, and I got into mods when I discovered Halo Custom Edition, specifically the Halo 2 Custom Edition group of mods in 2006. I occasionally tinkered with various modding tools over the years, and I even bought this book, Halo 2 Hacks by Stephen K. Wood, that showed you how to use programs such as .halo to modify Halo 2's tags. In 2016, I began covering other people's mods when I began The Vengeful Vatum. However, I officially started making my own modding projects in 2018, when I released the Xbox 360 version of Halo Reach Evolved. At that time, the PC port of MCC was not announced yet, so I initially made Reach Evolved as an experiment to see what I could do within the realm of Halo modding. The only people capable of playing this version were others who had modified Xbox 360s, which meant my player base was extremely limited. Fast forward to when MCC PC was announced, I was ecstatic to hear that an exponentially larger amount of people would get the chance to play my creation, over 20,000 downloads to be exact. Reach Evolved might not be playable for now, but keep your eyes peeled for updates once I'm finished with Halo 2 Uncut. So with the autobiography of my modding history out of the way, why did I say all of this? When the PC version of Master Chief Collection came out, the accessibility of my Reach Evolved mod shot up dramatically, only needing a normal PC to play it as opposed to a modified Xbox 360. Here's the thing, the Master Chief Collection is currently 343's best source of almost universally great press. It'd be unwise for them to not capitalize on that and continue to strive to make this game even more amazing than it already is. Because of this, we're not done yet. Mod accessibility can be further expanded upon than where it is now. At the time of this video, only PC players of Master Chief Collection can play modified maps, with Xbox players completely left behind. When the MCC's newest update was being advertised, I can't help but feel like 343 was unintentionally misleading here. Of course, 343 did not aim to trick Xbox players into thinking they were getting Halo 2 Griffball, for example, likely expecting those who were in the know to understand what was going where. Here's the problem. Put yourself in the shoes of a casual Xbox player. They see a tweet like this, and get hyped to all hell about the idea of Halo 2 Griffball. They either read the post to realize it's only for PC players, or wait until the update drops to find out it's not in the game, with both scenarios resulting in huge disappointment. I understand that that's not entirely 343's fault for players not doing their research, but you can't expect every fan to do that. The only mods that Xbox players are actually able to play right now are game type mods that have zero effect on the map files. Let me list a few of the mods that Xbox players are missing out on. The upcoming Halo 4 Mythic Overhaul by Mythic Jackie completely transforms Halo 4's sandbox by introducing weapons, vehicles, and character variants throughout the series. Score Lee's series of custom Halo 3 campaign missions, with the most recent one being Kill Billis, are perfectly sized levels featuring a wide variety of encounters and set pieces. Rejected Shotgun's Huge Grass is a reimagination of the classic custom edition map Huge Ass, now remastered in Halo 3, featuring Halo Wars vehicles, Pelicans, Phantoms, and even drivable Scarabs. Ultimate Firefight Sandtrap by Weaver 900 is a roguelite firefight mode featuring a plethora of new gameplay features, including character selection, a vulture auto-scroller, a revive system, reward drops, and much, much more. Halo 3 Combat Evolved by Kashiera is a remake of Halo 1's campaign in the ODST engine. It's Halo 1 with all of the engine additions ODST brings to the table, such as enhanced graphics, 4-player co-op, online multiplayer, and even a firefight level. The recent update also dropped dig site content. For those unaware, the dig site team is a group of people brought on to comb through the Halo franchise's development archives. They are restoring previously cut content, from bipeds, weapons, vehicles, and even whole maps that were once part of the cutting room floor. The content released is now available for modders to integrate into their modding projects. One spectacular example of a mod using dig site assets is Crash Site, a custom campaign mission using the Macworld 1999 demo level as a canvas, made by the following members of the dig site team: Sean T, Neo Tiaika, Ludus Regard, and Scruffy the Sasquatch. It features the Master Chief donning his Macworld Spartan armor as he traverses the island, killing Covenant in his way with new weapons and vehicles that were cut during Halo 1's development. It's my favorite mod of all time at the moment. There's so much replayability, and the vibes of this level just ooze that classic Halo 1 feel. In fact, the music you've been listening up until this point comes from Crash Site's own dedicated soundtrack, Decamillennium, made by the incredibly talented Neo Tiaika. I highly encourage you to support his release and buy the soundtrack. If you're into awesome Halo music, look no further. Neo perfectly captures the essence of Halo's sound, employing many of the techniques Marty O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore used for Halo 1's own soundtrack. Crash Site also now includes Splash Site, a multiplayer mod of the Halo PC map Infinity made by Ludus Regard and Neo Tiaika. It's entirely flooded with water and centers around the cut Doozy Boat. It's an incredible race map and is insanely fun with friends. Of course, I cannot forget Inferno Plus's Cursed Halo again, the current most popular mod on MCC's Steam Workshop. It's filled to the brim with hilarious jokes and some of the most ungodly content imaginable. You can spin kick enemies and double jump with pistols, but my favorites are the D20 grenades. Once they detonate, something completely random will happen, for better and for worse. Cursed Halo is notable not just because of how insane it is, but it also used to be a Halo Custom Edition mod. Custom Edition has almost 20 years worth of community-made content, and more Custom Edition maps are being ported to MCC, to the point where there's a new port on Workshop almost every day. You have classics such as the original Huge Ass by Tiamat, D.A. Ender's Extinction, The Silent Cartographer Evolved by the TSCE team, Dream Trap by R93 Sniper, Project Lemuria by the TM Mapping team, my favorite Custom Edition multiplayer map of all time, Portent by EJ Burke, Big Ass by Altus94, Yo-Yo Rost Island by Yo-Yo Rost, Precipice by Silicon Master, and of course, VKMT's own Halo CE Plus by Sean T. And that's just barely the tip of the iceberg. There are hundreds of Custom Edition ports on the Workshop right now. It's absolutely insane. The best part about the campaign ports is the fact they support co-op, which wasn't possible when they were exclusive to Custom Edition. Going back to CE Plus for a bit though, it's not just from Custom Edition. It also has an original Xbox version specifically designed to work on that console, and the Halo X-Link Kai community has been in love with this mod since it came out. All of these mods that provide endless hours of new experiences are entirely out of the grasp of console players. A few weeks ago, I started the Twitter hashtag Bring Halo Mods to Xbox, going so far as to purchase Takeover Times Square slots to display the campaign in New York City. I started this hashtag because not only will mods on Xbox elevate the Master Chief Collection status as a Halo game, but it's the right thing to make happen. I still remember the comments on my old Reach Evolved videos from Xbox players lamenting that they would never have the chance to play this mod, and I feel their pain, as do so many other mod creators. That time when I heard more people were going to play Reach Evolved when the PC version of MCC was announced, I want to experience that excitement again, only with the Xbox fans who had to watch from afar as the PC players enjoyed Halo mods without them. Halo may have been conceived for the Macintosh, but it was born on the Xbox. The Xbox players, from newcomers to the series to those who have stuck around since 2001, deserve the near infinite amount of content that Halo mods can provide. As I said with both Reach Evolved and CE Plus, the original Xbox and Xbox 360 consoles are no strangers to modded content, albeit not through official means. Ever since the original Xbox's heyday in the early 2000s, people were soft modding their consoles and playing mods with other people, whether it was through LAN tunneling, Halo 2's Xbox Live compatibility, and arguably the most impactful way to play with friends, split screen. Playing some of these old goofy mods with a buddy or two right next to you is a wholly unique experience, and showcasing mods that people can play without needing to own a console or PC of their own is the most natural form of word of mouth. Those friends you showed your mods to can tell their other friends about it, and before you know it, you can have several people enjoying these mods under the same roof, perhaps even employing multiple Xboxes to set up a LAN party. This is actually how the competitive Halo 1 community runs their tournaments. Beach LAN is an annual event that takes place in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida, and they run the mod Halo Patch Edition, which better optimizes Halo 1 for competitive play. With all of this said, I'm not ignorant to the fact there's a good reason as to why mods on the Xbox version of MCC has not happened yet. The Xbox version of Master Chief Collection really has no way of accessing the Steam Workshop, and if we were to use the old map file replacement method that we needed to do before Steam Workshop support, that's not possible for Xbox either. Unless you're running a console that can read unsigned code, aka a modded Xbox, players can't access the game files directly. There'd also have to be some sort of vetting system in place to see which type of content would be allowed for Xbox players, and I don't see 343 wanting to do that forever. Mods would need to run well on original Xbox One hardware with 4-player split screen and 12 other people in the game. there need to be no NSFW content, and if there is a custom HUD, it would need to have proper split screen support, just to name a few prereqs. Another significant thing would be the mystery of how mod creators plan to test mods on Xbox without a debug console for testing purposes. Back when I was making Reach Evolved for the 360, my 360 was modded, and the Xbox One is currently not capable of this. Many people have cited Fallout 4 and Skyrim as two examples of console games with mod support, but these games were tailor-made with this compatibility in mind, not MCC, and I'll cite better examples a bit later. So could Xbox players ever get access to any of this content? General Heed recently put out a video about MCC being added to GeForce Now, a cloud streaming service that can allow you to play the PC versions of games on pretty much any device you want, Xbox included. Go watch his video on the topic as it's a great one, and I have to agree, GeForce Now compatibility would be an excellent first step to getting Halo mods onto Xbox. The only caveat is that Xbox players would have to buy MCC again, this time the Steam copy. Thankfully, you don't need a PC to do this, since you can use the Steam mobile app to buy the game and install workshop mods for your account, and from there, it should be smooth sailing to play them on your Xbox. The other method would be to make some MCC mods be officially integrated into the game itself as downloadable content, and I feel this would be the easiest way for 343 to have mods available to Xbox players. No extra backend systems to connect and workshop would ever need to be implemented. In fact, something like this has been done before. The source ports of Doom and Doom 2 host community add-ons, which are custom levels that were made by modders as DLC for these games. Quake also has community add-ons and work the same way as Dooms do. 343 should do this for the Master Chief Collection, having some sort of add-ons tab in the main menu that would feature community-made content. That being said, I know this is easier said than done. Getting content added to the game itself would require more manpower and resources than the MCC dev team currently has. Only a handful of developers are maintaining the game, so to ask them to add on this level of work is unreasonable. As said earlier, content would also need to be vetted to ensure it's appropriate to be hosted. Thing is, 343 already vets community-made Forge maps before they toss them into matchmaking playlists. If 343 doesn't have the people to do it, I believe they should hire a group of modding community veterans who understand the ins and outs of modded maps and how they should ultimately run on the various Halo engines, and give them access to Xbox One dev kits for testing. I think a good place to start would be to test the content that was heavily advertised for this update, such as Halo 2 Griffball, Halo 3 ODST multiplayer, the rest of the Halo Online maps that were not integrated into the game, and the dig site content. Dig site adjacent content like Crash Site and Splash Site should also be looked at. The problem is, there is no incentive for 343 to do this other than the good press that I mentioned earlier. MCC is not making large amounts of money for 343 compared to Halo Infinite, which has an in-game shop and battle passes, and asking of them to hire on more people when resources are tight won't be much of a fair ask. Some of you aren't going to like what I'm about to say, so brace yourselves. That's why I feel MCC needs some kind of revenue stream to incentivize 343 and Microsoft to find a way to make mod to DLC integration easier. And here's the one option that I've said many times in the past before. Halo MCC's custom games browser needs to give players the option to rent dedicated servers that run multiplayer games 24/7. Halo Custom Edition has done it, Halo 2 Vista has done it, and now MCC has to do it. This would allow hosts to set up a server without actually needing to be in the game itself, and matches can run for however long the host wants. The Customs Games browser must also allow for modified multiplayer content to be hosted, full sale. Minecraft actually does something similar to this in the form of Minecraft Realms. It's a subscription service that allows players to host their own servers using Microsoft's own backend systems, with limited mod support depending on the circumstances. There's a reason why campaign and firefight mods are significantly more popular nowadays than multiplayer ones are. Gathering people to play modded maps is a huge pain in the ass. It's all done through custom games, and the host needs to manually invite people, usually through Discord servers, to play these mods, and they need to make sure those people have the mods installed. It's easy for me since I have a YouTube following and a Discord server of my own, but for everyone else, it's not that simple. I know map creators or heavily de-incentivized to work on multiplayer maps because they feel they're simply not getting the attention they deserve. And let me tell you, there are so many amazing maps that have come out, and all of them deserve thousands of hours of playtime. 343, if you came out with server rentals with mod support tomorrow, I'd be paying for them every month for the foreseeable future. My Halo 2 Uncut mod recently had a multiplayer beta test in my Discord server, and we consistently had full 16-player lobbies with many other players waiting for a spot. Imagine if I could rent out multiple servers for those other players. That results in you earning that much more money, and more players enjoying my mod. Everyone wins. MCC recently added in the feature of workshop mods downloading while your game is still running. To me, that's a big first step to having automatic mod downloads for these dedicated servers, which would be nice to have for even more ease of access. In recent times, some of Halo Custom Edition's dedicated servers utilize Lua scripting to add way more features to each multiplayer match. Imagine what modded multiplayer content on MCC's dedicated servers could do with that kind of power. Let me make this point very clear. I've spent most of this video campaigning for mods to come to Xbox. However, mod support for the custom games browser, along with dedicated server rentals, should be the first priority before tackling console mods. These features have been long overdue, and it's time for multiplayer mods to have the same download traffic that the single player and co-op ones do. Once enough revenue has been generated from rentals, perhaps then we can find a way for Xbox players to get mods, ideally through curated DLC packs that are judged by community members you'd hire on. Bring server rentals to MCC, bring Halo mods to Xbox. For people watching this video, I encourage you to use these hashtags to voice your support. We can go beyond. And that's going to do it for today's video. If, and only if, you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment about your thoughts on all this, subscribe for more Halo content from this channel, and hit the bell to never miss an upload. Also, make sure to check out Neotiaiga's Decamillennium Soundtrack, which is now available to purchase on Bandcamp, link in the description. I'd like to shout out my counselor tier patrons, Shmee Grimm, Savin' Private Mike, Evan Tripp, Blake Vollant, Punk Anderson, Alec Hash, Michael Johnson, Tom Bax, Basic Toast, Ghost, Scatman, UNSC Shooter, C3 Sabertooth, The Cave Potato, Just Larm, Turbo Simp, Synonymous Hooligan, Sean T, Konar Daytona, Rad Mayan, Kyle Dealman, Ghost Slayer, and Tomislav. This is the Ventral Vatum. Always remember that you matter more than you think you do, and I'll see you on the great journey.